Welcome back, like your boy Mace.
Did he just hit us with the mace?
Mace, bad boy for life. Welcome back. Hey, man. Hey.
The new Kanye. Yeah, whoever it is.
Man, it's so much that been transpired. There's so much that's happened in these last couple months. This year, 2021 has just been a blur for me. Greg, Nate, how y'all feeling, man? Let's reintroduce. Allow me to
reintroduce myself. My name is.
I'm Rich, aka Larry. We got my big brother Greg. Got my big brother Nate.
What up?
Greg, what's up, man?
Man, what is good? What's
How
good?
You feeling? How's the family? How's everything? How's life? How's being Greg?
Hey, man, everything over here on this side is great, man. Right now, the job is good. The business is doing awesome right now, man. And for me, man, it's just really trying to learn how to put everything together, balance it out, and still try to grow and get better at what we're doing. But for the most part, loving life over here, baby.
Nate,
I'm
the
good.
great
What up?
mother.
The gray hair kingpin.
Yeah, as my son would say, I'm great with black highlights right now.
Said black. Got that.
But it's true.
Frosted tips.
Yeah. I got the frosted tips. Yeah. Everything good, man. It's Perkins family. We doing good. Kids doing good. Progressing. Wife doing well. Hey, everything's good over here. We doing all right. It's crazy though that years flying by.
It's good to hear everybody's good and healthy, man. On my side, no complaints here. Me and my family relocated to Virginia, the DMV area. Still getting adjusted, still getting used to it, but it's a change and it was a needed change. So my son's doing well. Football season is in full swing.
Yeah, let's talk about it.
Got him in motion. I know we got Big Gabe over there in motion. The bus is rolling.
The bus is rolling. All gas, no brakes is what we say.
Downhill, baby. Downhill. Let's get
I'm loving it, man. I'm loving it. How's the baby boy doing in the football game right now, man? I know I hit you up. I wanted to kind of hear it from you.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, he's getting used to it. He's getting used to taking the hits, and he had his first opportunity of getting the wind knocked out of him.
Welcome to football moment.
Kind of caught him off guard, but I told everybody, when it first happened, just seeing it, I couldn't feel sorry for him because I knew he was good because he came over to me talking. He sounded like Uncle Elroy off Friday when he hurt his back, man. That type of thing, man. I can't breathe. I'm like, son, good. You talking to me? Just calm down. You got it. Back out there, but it's all good, man. It's the bumps and the bruises is that they're off for a reason. Each one is a lesson. So,
man, listen, when Gabe started playing football, man, I was super worried, right? Because I remember taking him to like a football camp. And my man, he wasn't doing any drills. My man was just out there picking flowers. I was like, oh, I don't know if he's about that. I'm like, I don't know if he's about this life. But he grew into it, man. So B got it. Lil B got it.
You got to keep him with it, man. And that's, that's that dedication and that commitment to it it pays off in the long run, in multiple facets of life. So, we definitely excited about, seeing him evolve and seeing him just develop certain skills and, him recognizing those skills and being able to, operate in what he's doing. Josh and John over out there, all the boys out there, man, they getting it in.
Everybody's playing this year. It's good stuff, man. It's good.
All good, man. We back on to kind of break it back into the mold of this. We got to throw the one got to go in there.
Season 2.
Episode 1 is in full effect, but we're gonna throw this one got to go in here for you real quick. We got to get that motivation.
I missed this music. One's gotta go. One's gotta go.
One gotta go. We got four right here. Four different sports teams. These are all basketball teams from various dynasty eras. The first team, you may recognize as I go through the description, but this first team from 91 to 93 and then from 96 to 98 won 6 championships. Out of attending 6 finals, they won 6 championships. From those finals, they were averaging 64.7 wins per season, and the average league size at that time was 28. But this team, obviously, Michael Jordan's Bulls, the double dynasty, they had to split where Mike left and came back, did it again. We also have Bill Russell's Boston Celtics, just talk about dominance over a period of time, 13 years, man. You can't compare anything to that. We have the Tim Duncan San Antonio Spurs. I'll kind of throw the David Robinson, Tony Parker, Ginobili Spurs. And it wasn't just Tim Duncan, but from 99 to 14, 9 championships. They were just a powerhouse. Greg Popovich, the coach, all around, man, just a solid foundation, solid franchise. Kobe Lakers from 2000 to 2004. Obviously that 2004 season, they got, put on their back by the Detroit Pistons. Shout out to the D. But which one y'all got? Nate, we'll start with you. One got to go.
Oh man, one got it.
Totally gone. Totally erased from existence. Never happened.
Look, so totally gone. Look, so I'm gonna walk it back. So my favorite, probably because of the era that I grew up in, was the Bulls. That Bulls era, that's golden to me. That's golden to me. The physicality of the game, the dominance of Jordan, and then how dominant he was in NBA finals. That's golden for me. Dude, that silent assassin though is you don't even think about this, the Spurs, but they was killing it with the fundamentals. Like no flashy nothing. Dang. Look, so simply because it wasn't in any of my era that I could roll with, because it wasn't in my era, I have to drop the Celtics.
If one got to go, I'm going Spurs. And the only reason I say that is because I am a Bill Russell fan. Because to me, Bill Russell,
that's your GOAT, right?
Yeah, that is my GOAT. That is my GOAT.
That's your GOAT.
11 championships. One of the only player coaches to win a championship. He played in probably the roughest era, crowd-wise, being called certain names. They could really get it in and mix it up. I mean, then it would probably go Lakers next is my favorite because, again, Shaq and Kobe were my team. I wasn't a real big Bulls fan. I mean, I liked Michael Jordan. He was cool, but I wasn't a big Bulls fan. And then the Spurs got to go because it was just like boring basketball watching them.
Tim Duncan would have more championships he'd have the same amount of championships as
Michael Jordan.
Guys, Tim Duncan don't get talked about a lot in that light, right. You know what I'm saying? But he dominated, you know what I'm saying? His team dominated. No question.
He's a monster. Don't get it twisted. He is definitely a monster. I just as a fan watching the game. Now, I appreciate his contribution to the game, but just as a fan watching the game, Tim Duncan was like watching paint dry. My man was a monster. Don't get me wrong. He was a monster, but it was like watching paint dry. My man would be like
1, 2, spin
off the backboard in and then run down the court like no, nothing. But I mean, I could appreciate it. But to me, man, I mean, it goes Celtics, Lakers, Bulls, Spurs. I think at the end of the day, Michael is who he is. Bill is who he is. Kobe is who he is. Duncan is who he is. But just as far as watching the game and loving it, man, I'm not watching the Spurs. Out of the 4, if you had a tournament, who's winning all of it?
Shaq and Kobe. That's Shaq and Kobe. Come on now. Because nobody is like prime Shaq. You can't stop him. Like, you can't stop prime Shaq. When Shaq is taking a defensive rebound off the board, running point.
But you got to remember, Duncan and them beat him.
They did. I think they was on some bull, though, at the end. But I'm talking about prime Shaq and Kobe. Nah, I don't see that happening.
Hey, yo, so when we talk about great teams, man, it's not to tie everything to basketball or just sports, but teamwork usually comes in that arena. I think about teams, and you guys might have other ideas of teams that kind of remind you of just greatness and where you saw, from the top to the bottom, where that work ethic and that commitment and accountability was there, that allowed them to go to greatness or achieve whatever they were setting out to achieve. For me, I'm a big Tom Brady fan, and not necessarily a Patriots fan, but a lot of things that tie back to sports are because the Patriots have been one of the major dynasties of my lifetime, I guess. But just thinking about that culture that, ownership and coaching sets, kind of sets everybody up for that success. And, we look at things like now, as the Patriots have transitioned onto, into the future, they've drafted a rookie quarterback.
Yeah, he's a rookie.
He is a rookie. Or was last year? Yeah, drafted a rookie quarterback and Mac Jones, and then we saw the untimely release of Cam Newton. So
the untimely demise.
Somebody expecting Cam to get cut.
Yeah, right. So, everybody knew Cam was getting cut. Y'all just didn't want to let it. Y'all don't want to have that in y'all's mind.
Yo, it's dope though. I mean,
I thought if they was for real though, I thought they was gonna do it. They would have did it way before now.
Yeah, brother. You said something about Cam Newton.
Oh, we just saw your untimely demise.
Y'all stupid.
Man. Shout out Tony Baker.
Yeah, man.
But
oh yeah, that was
they have a system though and he just didn't fit the system. But because I think Cam,
Miss Todd, next man up. See you later.
I think Cam
bye.
still probably could play somewhere. He still could play somewhere. I think he still got some skill. I think he's still there. But I think Bill Belichick has a certain system, and he didn't fit in that system. They tried it out, and it didn't work. So the fit wasn't there. The tools that he has don't fit with the Patriots Belichick system.
He's done. He's done.
I don't know.
No, and here's the reason why.
Well, regardless of whether he's done or not, he knew what his role was and what he had to accomplish on that team, and obviously,
but that wasn't all him, though. And I think that was really good for us to kind of talk about this, because a lot of people, when they go into roles, whatever it may be, on the job, in the family, whatever it is, they don't really understand it, because sometimes you can't really understand a role until you in it. You know what I'm saying? You can kind of get a good thought of what it's like, but until you in it and everything that's demanded out of you and everything that's, all the requirements that come from that, it's hard to say that you know the role, man.
I think it's safe to say Cam knew his role. I mean, look at what he accomplished in Carolina. It wasn't his first, it wasn't like he had never experienced any type of success and was just thrown and put in this position where he knew he could possibly sink or swim. Cam has been through the ringer when it comes to his career, when it comes to injuries, when it comes to everything. Right. So I don't think he was.
Let me add this into it. Yeah, but let me also add this into it. The unknown factor was how him and Belichick would work. And that's the part, sometimes that's what I'm saying is like, you may know the actual technical aspect of the job, right? Okay, keep the ball, maintain possession, throw it, cool, manage the field, that type of thing. But the unknown factors is how you working with everybody else. The unknown factors is the egos in the locker room. The unknown factors is how, Belichick walking past you after a loss, and you kind of now got to deal with that internal stuff like, all right, is he saying this is my fault? Like, those are the things that I'm talking about that you can't prepare for. Like, you don't know what the relationship is like until you in it. Because, we all thought, Tom Brady and Belichick were the dynamic duo. But little did we know that in that locker room, man, there was a lot going on.
Tom Brady felt like they reached a certain level of success. I would assume that he felt like certain things didn't need to apply to him, or it didn't need to be done a certain way, which is possibly why him and Bill Belichick fell out. I don't know, but when it comes down to like these athletes, and we're not talking about somebody that's been in the league for 2-3 years. Cam's been around. He knows, he's been through multiple coaches as well. He knows, that it's not his way or the highway. So I get what you're saying, but I don't think that necessarily played a part into him being released or removed from his role or position.
I think it was more what Patriot football and Belichick football was looking for. Cam was just not it. Cam wasn't it. And I don't think he could. The style of play that he has and the tangibles that he has to bring to the table didn't fit with what Bill Belichick wanted.
Let's tie this back to ourselves.
So on my last job that I was at before, where I'm at now, I hated that job. I didn't like the role, and I wasn't good. I didn't feel like I was good and succeeding in the role. And I wanted to quit a couple of times. And I remember sitting down with a friend, and I was just venting. I was complaining, and they gave me some advice, right? So they was like, rather than quit, stick around to see what's going to come out of this, because maybe what you're doing is you're growing something new. Like you're growing a new skill set and something else that, and it just doesn't feel good right this second. So in the time where maybe it didn't feel like a good fit, it was pushing me to grow in a certain area. And I think that's sometimes where I didn't understand the difference between, this is something we could maybe talk about. I didn't understand the difference between a good fit and growing pains of growing into what you're supposed to become. Right. So I think in my situation, it was a part of it wasn't necessarily a good fit company wise, but it was a necessary part of me growing to what I needed to get to next, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah. It's funny. I kind of went through something similar too when I was working at a particular college. It just felt like everything around me I was failing at. You know what I mean? Like I got into the role. Some people sought me out for the role, so it wasn't like I necessarily walked into it. I knew a little bit about the role, and I knew that the technical skills, kind of like what we were just previously talking about. I knew the technical aspects of how to get kids into school, but I didn't know how bad the situation truly was and how much of a task and how much of a lift it actually was going to be. And I think you brought up a good point where it was like knowing the difference between a good fit and growing pains, because I ended up going through growing pains, right? I went through all right, this is a part of it. This is part of the process. This is developing you. This is developing new skills. This is developing new ways of thinking. You're creating, right? Mm-hmm. And I'm trying to think, have I ever been in a job where it just didn't fit? And I don't think I have, but for me, I think we really needed to break down and understand more about what's the difference between a good fit and growing pains.
Yeah.
Because to me, a good fit is like, this is right for me. This is a right position based off of who I am, what I bring to the table, and I can go through it. Right.
Yeah. So that might be, so currently where I'm at now, and I'll just speak like career wise, currently where I'm at now, I'm challenged daily. However,
why you say it like that?
It's a challenge daily, please. However, I enjoy what I'm doing. I feel like my skill set, I feel like the experiences that I had before, like at that previous job where it was like really tough and pushing me and growing me, that built something in me that, okay, now I bring this to this new situation in this table. Now I have something to be able to put in front of people and bring to the table. And it's a benefit to others. So I think one of the things for me that helps me understand that where I'm at now is a good fit is, one, I enjoy what I'm doing, even though it's challenging. I'm not saying it's easy. Like sometimes we confuse ease with everything being good, but I enjoy what I'm doing. I'm challenged, but I enjoy the challenge, and I can see the impact of what I'm doing in other people. So I can understand, I see an immediate effect of when I'm doing my job and I'm doing what I was brought in to do, I see other people benefiting from that, which I think that is a key. I think that probably is a key factor in understanding that you have a fit where you have a good fit of where you're at.
You create impact is what I'm hearing you say. You have a good, you know what I mean? It's almost like the puzzle piece. You know what I'm saying? When you put that puzzle piece down and it snaps and it just goes right into place. Now you might have to kind of force it. It's built for it. But once you click that bad boy in, you be like, right. And it it adds to what you're doing. I really think, you know what I mean? That's a good way of kind of putting it, man. That's a good way kind of putting it, because I got an employee now, man. She's good. She's okay. She's done the job before. She has the skill set. She has the knowledge. She has the information. But because she's older, it's not a good fit anymore. This job isn't a good fit for her anymore because it's
maybe the passion. Maybe not because she's older. Because I've seen some old people that can.
No. I'm just saying. I'm just only speaking for this particular person.
Okay.
Because it is because she is older. Because I deal with teenagers, and we are always on some new technology type of stuff, trying to meet them where they're at. The advancement and she can't necessarily keep up with that. So then she becomes. She creates drag on the team. So we're trying to catch her up to speed. So I think
a liability.
Right. Bit. And I think that's a part of understanding the good fit part is understanding, are you helping, are you adding, or are you subtracting from what the team already has going on?
True story. I hear that.
You know what I mean? And that's not centered around age. That's more centered around, like, are you helping or hurting the team?
No, I get it. Because I can imagine if not just this particular person, but anybody who is like, if you're in a certain place, right, and you're moving forward, yet this person is not willing to take any steps to try to move forward, right? So we give grace and everything. We understand that certain people have to learn new skills and things like that. But if you're not trying to go in the same direction we're going, or the entire team is going, and then you're becoming a liability, then I feel that way. Maybe it's not a fit. Yeah, morale that can bring a real big drag on morale when you are in a position where everybody is stepping right, and you or the person is intentionally not moving or intentionally stepping left.
Right. And sometimes it's not even intentionally. It just be because I'm not aligned, or I don't really understand my role. Let's really get back into that, because if you don't really understand your role, you create that drag on the team, and the team can't move as swiftly or agile or efficiently as they need to. And I think a lot of times there's no real clear understanding of the role a lot of times, right? And what I mean by that, I mean, like, from being a husband, a wife, a business owner, stuff like that.
Yeah, I was going to ask, I was like, so we've been talking a lot about business, like teams and stuff like that. What does that look like in relationships, right?
Woo.
Whether it's marriage, family, friends, like what does that look like when you don't know your role, or you do know your role in a relationship, right? And I think that's something where, as we've seen in the pandemic, and like with lockdowns, and stuff shifted quickly within the last year and a half, where marriages are struggling, where friendship between adults is just hard and weird. You know?
Yeah, come on, let's talk about it, sir.
It's all difficult. It's very difficult. So trust the people. I can't even imagine dating like in this time right now. I feel all my singles out there. I pray for you.
Right. But I think the first key to understanding roles is communication. Well, let me back it up. I think the first key is understanding what you bring to the table. Like,
for sure.
And being confident in what you bring to the table. Because if you don't know what you bring, you will be searching for it, trying to dabble in all these things.
Adapting to every situation, every person, every interaction. Yeah. Becoming this chameleon that ain't real.
That ain't real, and it can't hold up underneath the pressure. Because you'll be putting yourself in a situation or be in a relationship with somebody or whatever it may be, and you'll crumble underneath that area because that's not where you're strong at in the beginning. You should have never been in that area in the first place, right? You should have been over here.
Yeah.
Because that's where your skill set. So I think the first part of understanding this role thing is understanding like, hey, first and foremost, what do I bring to the table? And what am I lacking when I come to the table? Like what skill set?
That's like, hard. That's hard. That's a hard conversation to have with yourself, or having that understanding of who you are. Like, because Greg, when was the first time you really was like, yeah, this is me?
Man, you know what?
This is who I am. Like, how long did it take to get to that place of like, oh, I do like this, or I don't like that?
I think first it started. I was probably about 30 something. To be, let's keep it real. I was about 30 something.
You was grown.
Still trying to figure it out, right?
Man.
But I think what it started with me just being cool with me and understanding that I wasn't great at everything. Right. It's cool. Hey, look, man, you're not detail oriented. It's okay. Like, you know, when we started putting the podcast together, you know what I'm saying? Like when all three of us got together and we were able to give out, you know, we took the assessment, the DISC assessments.
Yeah.
And we broke each other down. I was looking like, cool, I don't have to be detail oriented, because I knew how much of a strain it was on me to do that. And I was like, I'm cool enough with letting Rich and Nate be the detail-oriented ones. What I bring to the table is the laughter, the fun, the life, the energy. You know what I'm saying? I'm the one who's dancing when the intro comes on, and I'm fine with that. Like, I'm cool because I understand that's my superpower. And a lot of times I don't think we understand. We just try to get into teams and try to come together and not understanding which superhero you are. Right. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Dude, I was listening to a Jay-Z interview, and he said that he was making that statement. He was like, look, he said, everybody has a superpower. Everybody has something that God gave them that is unique to them in whatever mixture it is between the skills you got and the environment you grew up in. Something is unique to you, and it's for a purpose and a plan. It's guaranteed that everybody has it.
Yeah.
The hard part is digging in and trying to find what that is and accepting it and loving it and nurturing it. That's the hard part. And then saying, as you said before, saying truly, you know what? I am not good at this.
And knowing that it's okay. Like, man, I see so many people
being cool with that.
Right. I see so many people like, yo, you know what? I can do that. I can do that. I can do that. I can do that. You can't do that. You're not. No. It actually is worse when you do it. When you work in this area. Look, let me.
Newsflash, you suck.
All right. Honest moment. And you know what I mean? We'll throw the sound effects in here a little bit later. Honest moment. I get married. I got the mindset that man pays the bills. The man does A, B, and C. This is your role.
Shoot.
Let's get into it, right?
Oh, shoot.
I'm in here like, yeah, this is where I'm supposed to be. This is my identity. This is how I find my identity.
Greg, be the man.
I am the man. So we go through this, and again, not detail oriented, we getting overdraft fees, we getting this, we getting that. And I'm sitting over here like, no, I can't give it up. No, I got to be real with this.
Your wife will be like, give it here now.
Right. But what was going on what was going on with me internally was, if I give this over to her, I'm giving over my manhood. I'm giving over my leadership responsibilities. I am now becoming, I can't leave my house.
Man, you thought you was becoming a beta.
It wasn't even a beta. I think I was down by the Z's somewhere, bro. Because that's so rooted in our mindset that
you thought you was gonna become sis.
Hey, girl.
Oh man.
So, but nah, for real, I was sitting around and I was really like battling. I was like, no. And it was killing the team, like my family, like those overdraft fees was killing us. So it wasn't
heading in the direction that you wanted to. Man, I feel you though. That is hard.
It was just one of those things where it was just like, this has been embedded in me in so long, and it's so deep that my identity is tied up to this. So when I finally got to a point where I was like, the end result is more important than what my petty issue is right here. My family being financially successful, my family is worth more than this little image I got in my head. So, I went and was like, hey, Alyssa, you're more detail oriented than me. Because we did the disc assessment here at the house. And I'm not even going to lie to you. That was probably one of the smartest things I've done in a long time, was to really get an understanding of Alyssa and what she has and what her superpowers are and what her skill sets and what her shortcomings are. And then I take the test and do the exact same thing. And I'm like, bet.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Another place of growth in that is valuing the other person. I can tell you, I mean, same thing from my wife. My wife is different than me in so many different areas. And for a long time, it was an annoyance because it was different. And I've had that on my job too, on my current job. As I have certain coworkers that have they bring different things to the table, and they operate differently than me. And in my pettiness or in my immaturity in looking at it, I've viewed their differences as annoyances and not realized that really that's the thing that I need, because it's different than me. And yes. I've stumbled in that. And I think in my marriage, I'm getting better with that and realizing that I need my wife's differences. I need her to be different, because if we were the same, we'd have the same issues that I've always had. So valuing my own, and what I hear you saying as well, valuing your own strengths, and then using tools that you have with your company, with DISC, and any other things that causes you to be vulnerable with yourself, honest with yourself, and kind of stripping away this image of, man, we ain't gonna have time to get into this, but we need to have a conversation about that imposter man that we put out there that ain't really us, but it's the image that we think other people approve of, that imposter more than who we are. So we gotta touch on that.
It's funny, man, because I've always kind of lived by this thing, right? And this kind of goes into the next thing. So after you get to know yourself, you then got to get a PhD in your team. Like, what I mean when I say that is I got to study Alyssa so much that I understand her to a level where I can say, yo, you don't even see this being a superpower, but I see it. So I'm saying take the lead here, even though when you don't see it. You know what I mean? Like, that to me is also a really huge thing that we don't really understand. It's like, it's understanding the weapons around you. Like, let's go back to that football thing that we was kind of talking about. Cam gets into the situation. Cam knows what he can do, but he's not worked with these weapons before. Right. Yeah. He didn't really have any real weapons at all anyways. So you go into this situation thinking like, oh, okay, we're going to be able to at least maybe pull off 6 wins or whatever because of these weapons I have. I know I got this person who's able to do this. They can run this. They're great at running this route. I think that's the piece sometimes we also forget is that you got to study the people around you so heavily that you almost know them better than they know themselves.
As a side note from what Greg said, for all the introverts out there like myself, this means that you have to be known by someone. Someone needs to know you. The real you. Not the work you. Not the church you. Not the bar you. Not the church you. Not the you in the community or the fraternity or whatever you're a part of. The real you. The real you when you go home and you are yourself.
Man.
So you need to be, I love this thing that we talk about in our church sometimes. We say you need to be known and know people. You need to be in both of those positions. You need to be in a place where you know people and that you are known. And that means for us introverts,
you got to share life with people.
We got to pull down these walls, and we got to go to at least 1 or 2 functions that we said we were going to, and not flake out of all of them. All right. So we got to do that. So to all my introverts, let's commit to getting known by someone, and then we can step to that part that Greg just said.
Yeah, but it's funny for the extroverts who are like me. It can't be always about you. You got to learn about other people. It means you got to stop talking and listening, and you're going to have to stop and be able to say, let me digest that before I say something about it. So it's because that's truly our relationship for real. That's like, man, you know what I'm saying? Like I had to stop sometimes and just be listening like, yo, okay, man, this is who this brother really is. And you have to be comfortable enough to have that trust. I think that's the key. Going back to understanding that role, do I trust you enough to have a fair assessment? Do I trust you enough to throw you the ball? Do I trust you enough to give you the checkbook? You know what I mean?
For sure.
Because we can't build off of anything else. Going back to that whole thing of the 5 dysfunctions of a team, that first layer is trust. You can't, man, if you don't know me for real and I don't know you for real, we ain't living in real trust.
And I'm always gonna have a plan B behind me.
Man,
I might give you something, but I'm gonna be like, I don't know if you're really gonna come through. So I'm gonna have a plan B. So I'm never really leaning on your strengths.
Exactly. Exactly. So you know what I'm saying?
And we dropping jewels over here.
Hey,
I don't know about y'all. I'm picking them up right now. We dropping jewels over here. But listen. This has been a great conversation that we are just getting started on. We're gonna run through a series.
It's season 2, baby. Yeah, season 2.
We're gonna run through a few more of these. Yo, real quick, I want you all to go to our page, Facebook, Honest Moments Podcast. I want you to drop us a like. I want you to share. I want you to leave us a comment. Let us know what you want to hear from us. Let us know what you want to hear Black men talk about. Let us know what you have on your heart. That's that you're dealing with. Got a question about. We ain't got all the answers, but we got an opinion, and we can find some stuff about it, and we'll talk about it. So, that's it. Anything else, Greg?
Nah, man. If you really, really, really want to assess your skill sets, man, if you go to the page, you like and you share and you do all the subscribe and you do the whole 9, man. I'm talking about 50% off any disc assessment. The disc assessments are usually $80. I'm talking about a $40 disc assessment. You get a chance to sit down with me for an hour. We'll go through your whole disc assessment, understand your superpowers, understand your performance gaps, the areas where you got to improve, and to help you and your team just really get to understand yourself, man.
That's dope. And Greg, where can they go find you on social media?
Man, listen, you can find me on social media at Catalyst Training, everything. Check out the website, Catalyst Trainings with an S on the end.com. You can purchase assessments from there as well. But the real thing is, man, let somebody help you see you. That's the main thing. Check us out anywhere else. I'm good to go.
That's dope. And you can follow me, Nate, at He on a Quest, all social media platforms. You ain't heard that in a while, have you? Yeah, that's right. He on a Quest. And then go hit up our boy Rich. Was it Rico Larry?
Rico Larry 313.
313, representing the D. All right. This has been another episode of Honest Moments Podcast. Peace.
Season 2.